Hi everyone, welcome back to our session. Just give me a minute, I'll be sharing my screen. Are you able to see my screen and able to hear me? Could you please ping me out the chat window? Yes, right? Okay, thank you. So, in the last session, we have discussed about Bootstrap, and before that, we have discussed HTML, CSS, and today we'll be starting with the JavaScript. So, what is the JavaScript and how it is? So, hope you are doing good with the HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap, and you don't have any questions, right? So if you have any questions, please do post me on the chat window, and I will address your questions. Okay. And an important announcement is like tomorrow and day after we don't have the session due to the new year, and again we have the session on 2 days after, which is like 2nd Jan is the one for India, IST time, 2nd Jan. Okay. So tomorrow and day after, 31st and 1st, we won't have the class. And again, we have the class on 2nd Jan IST. And according to your timings, you just have to take care. Okay? And yes, coming back to our JavaScript. So JavaScript is a programming language initially designed to interact with elements of the web pages. Initially, it was not a programming language, it is just a client side scripting language. What is a client side? What is a server side? So when we call it as a client side, like client is nothing but the user, so which you are trying to access from the browser end. If you are typing some request and you're sending to the some server to requesting about something, so that is what the client side. So right when it says the client side, client is nothing but the browser. So it's a browser's language and it's a client-side scripting language. So later on, like it was evolved into many frameworks, libraries, and on the basis of the JavaScript, we'll be defining some environment as well. So it was now defined it as a we can define it as a programming language. And where it is started is like it initially designed to interact with elements of web pages. So in what are all the elements we'll be having. So if you can see, these are all the elements, and if you can interact with these elements, so that is what uh, programming language it is designed for to interact with. So it was first started with Brandon Ayak, which is in 1995, which is by who is a Netscape developer, and initially it was named as a Mocha, and then it was renamed as a LiveScript, and then it was standardized as a JavaScript. So all this JavaScript standardization will be taken care by an association called ECMA, so which is European Computers Manufacturers Association, ECMA, and in their ECMA
Sir, we are not able to hear you.
Now, are you able to hear me? Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, sir.
I think somebody muted me. Okay, I think I have announced one thing, right? So tomorrow and day after we don't have the classes. Did you got it right? Okay. Now it comes to like JavaScript. So JavaScript is a programming language um, which is initially designed to interact with the elements of the web pages. So you can see here, JavaScript is a programming language initially designed to interact with the elements of web pages. So initially it was called it as a scripting language, and it will be calling it as a scripting language, or a client-side scripting language we'll be using. So client-side scripting language. Right. So later on, like it was evolved into many frameworks and libraries. So it was now defining it as a programming language. So which is having we can connect to the server, and we can make use of a server with the JavaScript by using Node.js. Node.js is also based upon the JavaScript. So all these things it is making us to define this JavaScript as a programming language. Initially, it was started with a Netscape developer, which is Brandon Ian, in 1995, and the first name was given as a Mocha, and then it was renamed as a LiveScript, and one, and it was standardized as JavaScript. So all these scripting terminologies and this was maintaining by the ECMA, and ECMA is nothing but European Computers Manufacturers Association, where in the Technical Committee 39 they have defined this JavaScript and it was standardized thereon from there on. So when it comes to ECMA script, the basic JavaScript where what we are learning now is standardized by 2009, so which is ES5, and then the advanced JavaScript what we are learning ES6 was standardized in 2015. So this is the brief history of about the JavaScript and how it was evolved. So now to understand the JavaScript, we'll be having three main parts where the core functionality, document object model, and browser object model. So the core functionality is nothing but what we are using the terminologies like ES5, ES6, where in which we'll be writing the coding and we'll be defining the variables, functions, all those things will be coming into the core functionality. So this core functionality helps you to maintain the core structure, the logic part, the action part, everything, the events part, whatever you call it as. So every performing, like action performing, and all these things will be done in this core functionality. And when it comes to document object model is nothing but to interact your pages or the elements of the web pages will be making use of this document object model. Document is nothing but your page, your HTML page, and if you want to manipulate your HTML page by using the script, we'll be making use of this document object model. Okay. And when it comes to like browser object model provides the browser API, which is interacting with the web browser, so which is to perform any operations which is within the browser, we'll be making use of this browser object model. Okay, so these we'll be seeing first with the core functionality, and then we'll be seeing with the DOM, and then B1. So don't call those are dumb bomb kind of things. So those are not the words. They are just an abbreviations, and we can expand with document object model, and where we can call it as a DOM in the short form, and browser object model and in the short form of BOM. Right. And every browser needs a compiler to compile this, so where in which the JavaScript will be running on the JIT. So how this compiler will work and everything will be seen in later sessions. So this is the brief history and about the simple detail of the JavaScript and how we have to make use of this JavaScript in our HTML program. So in the HTML program, we have to use this JavaScript by using the script element. That script element can be inside your head or body anywhere in your code, but there is some sense of using this inside your HTML pages. If you are using it, it has to be manipulated with your code and all, right? So if you want to interact with the document elements, then you have to make use of this script to be loaded after the document has been loaded. So those kind of priorities we'll discuss at the point of document object model. At this point, we just simply use the script inside the HTML, or if you want to link an external file, you can save the file as a .js, and we can include that uh, script within the src attribute, and you can use it in your HTML page. Okay. So, so that we can define this JavaScript as a two different types, which is like internal script and external script. Right. So internal script is which we will be writing inside the HTML. And external script is the one which will be writing the script element, and we'll be getting the external file linked to it. Okay. And for that, I'll be creating a new page over here, and then just using the sample.html. And this is the page. I'll be just creating a simple thing, and I'll be writing the script inside it like this. Okay, so if I want to make use of the script, I'm just making use of some console statement, console.log, where in which we'll be having console for the browser, right? So I'm just using some sample content over here. Okay, and if I'm opening this page, the live server, inspecting. So till now we have seen the elements part, right? So now we can see this console part, and if you can see, the hello has been uh, appearing over here. So whatever we have written on this sample HTML8, so that is what the thing that was appearing over here. So if you want to see, check anything in your browser, whether whatever you are writing in the JavaScript code, if you want to verify that, we can make use of that by using the console statements. Console will be having console.log, console.error, console.warning, all these things will be there. Okay. So then if you want to add any additional external script, I'll be using sample script.js. Okay, you have to rename with the .js, and you can make use of the same console statement like this. If you can attach the script, so if you remove this, you can also keep it. Okay, so just src. If you can choose your file, okay, then you can refresh it. You can see the hello script. Yes, it's good. So these are the two ways how you can make use of this script. Okay, to write the code, we need to have to know the syntax of what is JavaScript and all. So JavaScript syntax will be having seven most elements, and in this, what you have to define what we have to use and how we have to make use of this. So if you can see that JavaScript syntax will be having white spaces, statements, identifiers, comments, blocks, expressions, and keywords. So in generally, we'll be using some white spaces in the JavaScript. So those will be ignored by the JavaScript. So if you can see here, the white spaces refers to the characters that provide space between other characters, which is space, new line, tab kind of thing. So those things JavaScript ignores, but there is an importance of every white space. So which is like JavaScript engine ignores the white spaces, but we can use the white spaces to format the code to make it easy to read and maintain. So in that scenario, if you want to format your code within a neat structure and to understandable to the user, so we'll be using the white spaces. So for example, here we are writing some variable. For example, I'm just using a equals to 10, right? So a is we are providing a space and we are providing another space and we are concluding like this. And we are making an enter to and we are writing in a new line, right? That is also a space. So all these things JavaScript will ignore, right? And next comes to statements. A statement is a code that declares a variable or instructs the JavaScript engine to do a task. So which is a statement is nothing but whenever we are writing something that is a task. So for example, here in that I have used a equals to 10. This is a statement, and all the simple statements is terminated by a semicolon. And semicolon is optional. You can use it or you don't use it. But there is an importance of the semicolon whenever we are using it inside the blocks and all. We should be very careful. So I'll show you some simple examples where we have to use the semicolons and where it will be terminating that. So if you want to terminate a statement, you need to have to use the semicolon. That is the mandate thing you need to have to observe over here. So a simple statement is terminated by a semicolon. And next comes to like we'll be using some names for the variables, functions, and everything. Those are all called identifiers. An identifier is the name we choose for the variables, parameters, functions, classes, etc. And the identifier name should start with capital A to Z, small a to Z, an underscore, and a dollar sign, and it is followed by the sequence of characters including A to Z, small a to G, and 0 to 9, and dollar underscore. For example, if you can see A, we can use for A, capital name we also use, but we don't have to start with like this. So 9A is not allowed. You can see here there is a red color, it is happening. Right, A9 is possible. And apart from underscore and dollar, we don't have to use any other character over here. Right, so that is what the meaning here identifiers. So on not only for the variables, so for the functions and all, we'll be using like that. And next comes to the blocks. So a sequence of zero or multiple simple statements will be using the blocks. So blocks would be delimited by a pair of curly brackets, and we'll be writing the conditions, functions, all this will be coming into the blocks. Okay, so this curly brackets will be using. So we'll see when we are writing some blocks over here. And when it comes to like comments, if you want to comment any line, so those will not be executed in your program and that will not be considered. So comments allow us to add notes or hints to the JavaScript code, and when executing, the JavaScript engine ignores the comments. If you want to comment a code, if you don't want to use that code furtherly, you can make use of these comments and you can use it. So we'll be having two types of comments, which is like single line comments and block comments. So based on that, like we will be writing those. Okay. So which is like, for example, if you can see here, I just write this is a comment. So this code will not work. And if you want to have the multiple lines of code comments, so which is like you can make use of like this. Right. So this is all commented. So it will not give you execution. So it is simply hiding that code. Right. So it will not consider. So these are all the comments. And next comes to like expression. So expression is a piece of code that evaluates the value. Anything what we are doing, it results to a value. So if you are doing that, that is nothing but an expression. So expression is a piece of code that evaluates the value. Okay. So next comes to like keywords and desert words. We'll be having specific keywords and desert words. Those will be like using according to the usage. So that will be like listed over here. So I don't want to list it over here. So just like if you type lexical grammar in your browser, it will be going to the MDN web docs. So MDN web docs will give you the all the list of the keywords. So if you can see lizard words, which is available here to make use of all your JavaScript code. So if you can see, these are the keywords what we are using currently, like just break, case, catch, class, constant, continue, debugger, default, do, else, export, extends, false, finally, for, function, if, import, in, all these things. If you can see this list, this is all, you can see the result words and keywords which will be used in a JavaScript. So this is having a specific purpose of using it. So which is like you can go through these keywords. I'm just sharing you the URL over here and you can make a note of it. Okay, so these are all the keywords where we'll be making use of it. So in this, based on this keywords, we'll be making use of this, like if you're writing some function, and if you're declaring something, or we have to use this variable, like those keywords we'll be using. So for example, over here, I just want to use this var a equals to 0. So var is a keyword. So if you want to use the function, so if is a keyword. So if of true. So this is a keyword. So true is a keyword. All these things will be having a keywords and desert words. Okay, so this is the JavaScript syntax. So just go through the JavaScript syntax and it will be like this. Just give me a minute. Okay, so next comes to like we'll be having the JavaScript variables. So what is a variable? So variable is a label that references a value like a number or a string, or it can be anything. So most of the time whatever we define is a numbers or a strings. And if you want to declare a variable, we use var keyword in ES5, and from the ES6 we'll be having the let and const. So to declare a variable, we'll be using var keyword followed by the identifier. If you can see it over here, I have given the var keyword followed by the identifier, and this is an assignment operator. And if you are not using it, it will be like this. And if I do the console.log over here, if you can see here, there is one default value it will be appearing, which is undefined. So undefined indicates that is a default value. So if you can see, a variable name can be any valid identifier. By default, the variable has a special value undefined if we have not assigned a value to it. So we can say that default value will be undefined. So variable name rules are the same thing. So variable names are a case sensitive. If you can see here, the message with the small I'm starting with and message with the capital I'm starting at the two different things. And variable names can only contain letters, numbers, underscores, dollar signs, and cannot contain the spaces. And spaces are not allowed. And even the followed characters will be having 0 to 9 and all. So, like just like an identifier rules, it will be there. But this not contain the spaces also. So variable names must begin with a letter or an underscore and dollar. And variable names cannot use the reserved words, whatever the reserved words will be using that we cannot use over here. So we cannot use where like this. Okay, that is the meaning over here. So we can simply use the identifiers like this. And there are some, these are all the data types, which is like we having null, undefined, boolean, numbers, string, symbol, begin, complex, and object. So these are all the data types. So what I can do is like well, so I'll be concluding the session here. So today we just go through with this whatever we are discussed, like the statements and whatever the JavaScript syntax and all. So just go through. If you have any questions in the JavaScript syntax, please let me know. So if you want to understand better about the JavaScript syntax and how to include a script and all, just let me know. So we'll have the discussion starting with the variables and other things from the JavaScript in the next session. Any questions, any doubts over here? No questions? You're good with the JavaScript syntax and all? How to make use of the JavaScript?
Can we call the JavaScript from the Java also, right? Means um,
No, it's a browser
like it
understandable script
browser.
actually. So we can also use
Okay.
a JavaScript anywhere by using the script. You can mention in any HTML pages or whatever the Java server pages also. Okay, so
Yeah.
anywhere,
Okay.
any server page also you can make use of the script. Yeah.
It's the same syntax like script and source to the file, the
Yes.
local file.
Yes.
Oh, okay, sir. Yeah, I think
Okay.
we'll practice it. Yeah, we'll
Yeah. Yeah.
practice this.
Okay. Okay then. See you on the next session. Thank you. Thank you for today, and hope you will have a very good Happy New Year. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.